Hey guys, BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly Q&A. It is season 3, episode
19.
something like that.
I'm conserving my vocal talents because I have strep throat, so everything hurts a lot.
Let me pitch in a little bit. These questions, they're not exactly the same, but to me they've got sort of a similar theme, and that's why this episode is titled "Do What You Gotta Do," because part of it feels like it's people. The things that we pulled out are people suggesting to us what would be good for us, but also a lot about how we make our decisions as far as the answers go.
So I will still be reading the questions, but I will not be doing much other speaking. The first question comes from Wade C, and they say you guys should do a top 10 teams for your next video or series of videos.
Interesting idea. The biggest problem with that suggestion is that after the top 2, maybe 3 teams, there's a huge drop off in the quality. Alright, so to me, the Arkham Knight, Batman, Batgirl Prime, and Injustice 2 Superman, that team is clearly the best because they can handle anything. And the Flashpoint team that we've got, not even maxed out at Elite 7, or Elite 5, sorry, level 50, they're almost as good. And I could make an argument that they might be even a little bit better because the team matchup algorithm means that we're fighting easier teams that usually have less gear and specifically less Astro Harness showing up. So that the fights end up faster, so when you're grinding for battle points, that's even better. And even though we're not calling it that, our series of multi-player online team videos, now at, I think, 109 and counting, 110 maybe, it showcases a lot of different teams that have at one point in the development and evolution of the game been really, really good. All right, so, complaint would be fair enough. The old teams, not so much. They're not that great anymore. But the more recent videos in that playlist still hold up pretty well. So probably the best, if that's what you're interested in, would be watching that multiplayer playlist in reverse chronological order. Because I think what I wanted to get away with when we were doing this channel was that clickbaity kind of stuff. I hated clicking on videos, expecting to see something and getting something completely different. Even if it was okay, I sort of had an expectation that it would be what it was billed as, right?
Yeah.
Which sort of reminds me that I want to refilm the BDCKR special team, which is basically Elseworld Flash, Containment Doomsday, and Regime Green Lantern. But the videos that we use specifically for these Q&As it's just footage of the grinding that we do to try to maintain our position in the online seasons.
There we go. Our next question comes from Erick, Paniagua, and they say, why aren't you playing Injustice 2 mobile?
And it seems like we've answered this in a bunch of previous Q&As and a lot of other times we talked about it. And it boils down to too frustrating. I mean, a good example is I just checked the forums recently, and the Atlantean Armor Aquaman, they just nerfed him. So he was pretty effective, really good special too, and it makes it worse because of how frustrating it is to actually grind and promote him. So that a nerf in Injustice 2 is more like a kick in the balls instead of, I guess, like a punch in the face. I don't know. There's just something that just makes it even worse. But the reason why I'm revisiting this question, because even though we've covered it a bunch of times, there's one thing that actually occurred to me about this idea after we posted that Earth 2 team. The time it took us to actually build it up to something worth fighting in MP and being able to finish an ultimate fight relatively easily. Accumulating enough critical augmentations to field a fully crit augmented Earth 2 team. It takes so long to get enough resources to make a video that's any good. So if I'm going to be putting in that kind of time, I'd so much rather be doing it for an Injustice Gods Among Us team instead of an Injustice 2 team. It's still fun. Like, I still feel like the times where it's maybe not as interesting, at least, even the grinding is easier. And so it can be mindless. You watch a show, you do something else, you read a book, grind a little bit, put together a team that you like, fight with something interesting, try new things. There's so much more, to me, nuance in Injustice and more choice in the original Injustice mobile game that it's not nearly as frustrating.
So there we go. The next question comes from Darren, and they say, I know Injustice is what you're known for, but if you want to get somewhere, you need to move on from it. I love the game, but this content can only get you so far in views and subs.
All right, so some numbers first. All right, so 1,000 subscribers gets you into YouTube Space events, and 10,000 gets you into YouTube Space educational sessions and the ability to use their space. Wow, 10 seconds is not bad. So this is why when people ask us questions related to success, I'm always really careful, or try to be careful and clear about what our idea of success is. And the question, it's not an unfair question, but it implies that we actually want more out of it. And I'm actually, at this point, I'm pretty happy. We've gotten lots of stuff, and I don't even have the patience or the time to try to develop that kind of expertise in a different game. I mean, I'm sure one will come along. Well, for practical purposes, I think I probably spend the second most amount of time playing Renegade's
Midnight Star,
and that's actually really fun. And the ability to customize your gear loadout.
But I think there's even less views there.
Yeah, I mean, there's so few people playing it. I mean, we're usually on the top of the daily and the weekly challenges, but you know, in a ranking where you could have 100 people,
yeah,
you're not even getting 50 in the daily and not even 80 in the weekly challenges. So still enjoying it though, and we put in a lot of time. So yeah, I'm sure if we were looking for that, the problem is I've got a pretty full life, and this is more just something to do for fun.
Yeah,
for giggles.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, and
then
one last
final question comes from Scotty Demorest.
I love your name, Scotty.
They say, in a past video, I saw you experimented the max number of power credits you can have before getting an auto ban. Do you know the limit for energy recharges before an auto ban? I believe this is what got my account banned. I mentioned on one of your last videos. I understand this falls outside of what you guys deem an acceptable form of cheating, but I was just wondering.
So it's an interesting question from a different way. I mean, the short answer is that we're probably not going to be testing that. The longer answer is it's a couple things. It's really difficult to test because the point where you're actually getting banned, it looks like, is typically not immediately when there's an auto ban. It's sometime in the next 24 hours. Maybe they do, I don't know, like a check on the servers once a day, and then they figure out whose account they want to suspend. So it's harder to do experiment when you can't just sit there, make an adjustment, test it, and then make another adjustment and test it and do that. When you have to do something, wait 24 hours and then come back to it, and then you can't really be sure if what you did was what triggered it. And there's so many parameters now. I mean, the easiest one is power credits, but I think for a lot of things, one of what we've sort of pushed is being careful and preventing or doing something, just avoiding the kind of things that seem risky is probably the best kind of policy. So unfortunately we probably won't be able to give that information, but we will be testing other things. What we've got on schedule now is the Earth 2 stun. We got lucky enough, normally you would say unlucky enough, to get glitched out of the game where we couldn't finish it, but it gave us a chance to test Earth 2 Flash's chance to stun. And that's it. So now we can have a little bit of fun with the last couple fights. It feels like a few times where the questions have gone on, or answers actually, questions aren't so bad, it's their answers have gone on and we've droned on a bit, that we miss out on just how great the Flashpoint team is. What's cool is, I mean, you saw that in the first two fights. The first fight was, 10 seconds? The second fight was over a minute. And it has everything to do with how you approach it, whether you're willing to take a risk, and whether there's an Astro Harness on the other team. So this is going to be a bit of a slowdown because of Bane. When we knock him out, we're going to be left with... oh, actually, there's only one other Arkham guy, so...
And I mean, hopefully by next week, we'll be back. I'll actually be able to speak for some more of the video, and that'll help fill out the answers a little bit. Yeah. All right, so this fight, this Ultimate Ladder, took a totally different approach, and instead of tagging in Deathstroke at the beginning to take advantage of the splash on Special 1, it's actually a lot of times faster just to use Flashpoint Batman, do a few swipe combos,
And as long as 19 seconds is not bad. As long as the first person does not have Astro Harness, that's what you do. Unless somebody later has Astro Harness, and what you want to do is do enough splash damage on them through one of the others, so that they're less. The Astro Harness guy is less difficult to face. This is gonna be interesting.
The Flash.
But this shouldn't be a problem. Not even fully geared.
Superman.
Yeah. Okay. So this is not a great loadout for Injustice 2 Superman, I think, because he's already protected from specials. To give him the Riddler's Cane and the Mother Box to protect him a little bit more from specials seems a bit of overkill, and it's an opportunity cost where you can make him a little bit more powerful and do more damage. So he'll survive longer, but he's not actually hitting you that hard. So I don't even mind that much.
Begin.
So I need to get the timing right so I can do the second combo without blocking. I'm still trying, but it's not really working. Watch, it's not gonna... Yeah, he gets in one before I do. Ooh, I was hoping to sneak one in, but no such luck. Ooh, I hope I don't get locked out. There we go. One more. Nice.
Perfect.
Oh, I forgot. So maybe it did help him a bit more than I thought. I totally forgot that he had the Riddler's Cane. That's okay. You know what? Our guys, it's just... It's like... What, there's an expression, right? I don't know why... They say it's like taking candy from a baby. The problem is most babies aren't carrying around candy because they have no teeth. It's more like taking candy from children.
It's more like just taking anything from a baby, I think.
There should be a little hit. I wish there was something less than a tap hit that I could push him over with, but that's it. All right, so that's our Q&A for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Komoda.